that.
All righty. Being 10 o'clock, call the Infrastructure Committee to order. Notice the meeting was properly posted on June 9. Item 1 is to approve the minutes of May 23rd.
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There we go. Now I have a button. 2, discuss possible action regarding HVAC issues on the 9th floor of the courthouse and possible options, including replacing the current system. Hello, anyone?
That was placed on by facilities. The 9th floor, you want to talk about that?
I think we might have placed it on there based upon a conversation with Keith, where he said we needed to find a different and dependable solution.
Yes, we're looking into that now, and Keith is handling that. We looked at all the charges up to date, and it's pretty substantial to try to keep this system running. And Keith is in the process of looking into a new system to present to you.
So I'm trying to get my mind back from being gone a week. Isn't the HVAC system on the 9th floor relatively new?
Yes.
And it's out of date, not working, insufficient?
Not working, insufficient.
Out of warranty?
Yes.
Yes.
So here's what I know about it. There was a education set up that was never attended for these units. These units are unlike anything else in any of the buildings. 1. 2,
What regard?
in the regard of facilities maintenance, and this was a couple of years ago. So not knowing how to properly operate, maintain, they are a little bit more intensive. These units will work much better than they currently are. Some of the other issues are windows and not being sealed, those types of things. The measures to make these things work properly have not been exhausted and probably not even been done halfway yet. We need to fully exhaust and learn how to properly use these before we go spend millions to replace. I'm sure we're probably spending hundreds or tens of thousands to fix these.
20s.
20,000, okay.
We're everything you said is correct, Miles. Okay. But if you just look at the parts that we're replacing, compressors are already going out. Major items are going out on this system. So a lot of this money is replacing parts that are going out.
But are those parts going out as a result of our not knowing how to fully operate the equipment?
Well, we have a vendor that does know how to fully operate the equipment, and he is coming in and giving us service, and it's costing us an arm and a leg.
There's a lot of humidity in that building because it's not a sealed building, and these systems don't keep up very well as compared to this building over here, and this is a different system over here. They require a lot more maintenance.
That wasn't taken into account when we constructed the office space and knew we were moving over there and knew we were putting these in?
It should have been, because we had a professional designer that designed it. They knew the humidity situation. There was, as Miles said, there was some classes for how to maintain these systems that we never attended. And so
we never attended because they were never offered, or
no, they were offered.
And we never attended.
They were in Dallas.
So I don't know what the final solution would be, but I agree with Miles. We need to exhaust all the maintenance options of it before we just decide to scrap it.
I think that's a reasonable approach.
Well, my understanding from Keith's comment last month was that it had been done, because he said it's time to find a dependable and different solution. And is it also true that those the systems are not even manufactured anymore? Is that correct, or are you privy to that?
I can't answer that question, but we are having trouble getting the parts we need.
And it's the outside parts as well as the individual units inside the.
Yes.
I'm having trouble getting baby formula. The whole world's having problem getting parts for everything. So, yeah, that's going to be an issue with no matter what we do. Even if we were to
Yeah,
go
but
ahead,
at least
if
some
we
of
were
those
gonna
ones
go
you're
ahead
talking
and
about.
do it today and change it completely out, we're still going to have trouble accessing parts and equipment. We need to exhaust all measures that we currently have and invest it into the ninth floor. I understand that there's a lot of humidity. I get that. I understand that maybe these aren't the best, but we don't fully know that yet. I think we could go ahead and spend another $20,000 to $50,000 to figure out whether or not we need to spend another $1 million.
I agree that we need to exhaust all of the options up to the point, but it's really unusual that compressors are not under warranty for at least 5 years. I think we've been there the longest at 3 years and everything. But anyway, I'm just going off the information that's been told me by Keith.
That's what I have.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Negative, thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
That type of system is currently being manufactured, but those particular cassettes and pieces and parts that work with those cassettes are unavailable and are not going to be manufactured any longer. We're eventually going to have to scrap that system and do something completely different.
How long has that system been in place?
I think it's been up and running 2 years now.
2 years.
3 years.
3 maybe. The contractor, the mechanical contractor that we've been using was good enough to access manufacturers' extended warranties on our behalf. Our contractor who did the work up there under the contract was only obligated for a year to maintain, service, and warrant the equipment. So we've benefited to some degree from the extended warranties made available by the manufacturer, but the equipment not being available any longer is going to be ultimately the problem.
How much did that system cost?
600.
And your ballpark guesstimates on a new system?
I can't even give you that idea. The approach, I've had a lot of time to think about this and been doing some reading for the past almost 2 weeks. I think we go with a chilled water system. We have the chilled water here, and then a little backup heat thing that's simple to operate, simple to get pieces and parts for when they're available, and something that is certainly more reliable than what we have.
So are you saying that we've exhausted every?
I don't think so. I think this is another issue where we'll continue to throw money at this problem. Just throwing it away.
So what's the ETA for the part that they're waiting on for the?
I don't have
North
that
side of the building.
information. I'm not sure. Chris may know. ETA on replacement parts.
They're working on it today. We don't know that it is the solution, but we're replacing parts and advancing. They're probably up there right now working as we speak.
Without knowing whether or not that'll fix the problem.
Correct.
So you're going to proceed with investigating the chilled water solution that you mentioned?
Yeah, that's a long-term fix though, and that'll be ultimately expensive, but it'll be done once, and I think done right and forgotten about afterwards. The problem like Chris is talking about here, pieces and parts may become available, and if they're up there working on it now, that's great, but it's my understanding that they don't know whether those pieces and parts will actually solve the problem. They're pulling on this giant ball of twine.
Is this the same vendor that you referred to?
Yes, this is Metropolitan Mechanical.
Who serviced it for the first year? Is that right?
No. For the first year, it was serviced by the HVAC contractor, and the general contractor was responsible for its operations.
Yeah, we don't use them anymore. Is that right?
That's right.
Keith, we've always had chilled water there, and we discounted and said we're not using chilled water when we picked this other system. Why was that?
You know, I don't, I don't remember. We had a savant, I think, that helped us with our mechanical engineering. That's a good system, generally speaking. There are a lot of government entities that use that. Why this turned out to be so problematic, I can't answer. It's a larger system. You see these small heat pump type units in place all over the country, but in smaller applications. It may simply be the size of the application here. I know we have 2 banks of 4 compressors. We've got nearly, 60 tons or so up there.
Stacy, do you agree with to pursue or at least look at and price out the chilled water
We
solution?
should always look at all of our options. I agree with that. I just, the chilled water was thrown away in the very beginning. We knew we had that in there. It was, ceilings were too low to run the utilities or something. I can't remember the details, but
Was that before or after we decided to make the 10th floor a mechanical?
That was before. The reason I think we didn't use chill water, typically chill water systems, large package units that have associated ductwork that distribute the airflow to the different rooms. With the headroom that we had on that floor, ductwork wasn't going to be usable. If we go with chilled water cassette type units, like we've done up there with the steam radiator heat, in each of those rooms, that's a better solution and that's a better fix. Ductwork wasn't going to work, but if we use the individual cassettes with chilled water, I think we can get the job done.
Did those current individual cassettes have the availability to do that?
No,
You're gonna have to change cassettes as well.
yeah, those cassettes up there need to go in the trash.
Whose recommendation were these units?
mechanical engineer that we'd hired,
Who was that?
CEC.
What?
And we installed this equipment based upon their analysis of the building, the square footage. So everything that's up there, if they had done their job properly, should,
I don't know that the engineers did their job improperly. The sizing was correct. The fresh air needs and supplies are correct. The airflow is correct. It may just be something with this particular system and the component pieces and parts that are giving us the trouble.
What about the windows? What help would it be if those windows sealed properly?
That's not going to help. When I say that, when the temperatures are extreme outside, especially when it's summertime, those units struggle to keep up. And when they don't, you can tell the humidity level rises. And that may be a part of the problem with the windows, but not really. You've got a cement coffin up there that holds heat.
Are the windows sealed on the north side of the building?
No, they're the same all the way around, and they leak.
The only windows that are sealed on that building are what, the first 2 or 3 floors?
Okay.
I don't know that
That
they're.
have been-
I don't know that they're sealed even. You know. Yeah.
Seems like that would be the first step to me.
okay, further discussion?
No, just do you expect them, if this works, to be done by the end of the day, or do you have an idea what their completion is for today?
That's my hope.
Yeah, okay, all right.
We'll see.
I have no other questions, Joe.
There's a motion to
Second.
receive and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3, discussion possible action on a progress report for the courthouse elevator upgrades.
Kone is they have started the upgrade. They started on elevator A. Elevator A was the way the system worked. Elevator A was the master, and the other two elevators were the slaves. So they had to do some rewiring. It has caused some slight problems that we're working through, but everything is working to schedule.
Questions for Chris? Thank
Yeah.
you, Chris. Oh, go ahead.
I was, do you know, are they going to be able to override where the other two, the two slaves are stopping on every floor now?
Yes, that's the hitch that we're working through,
Okay.
and they believe they got it solved.
Okay. And then my understanding is you're going to put some like signage on the one that we are working on, like something very positive, like let everyone know not to be waiting on that elevator. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you. No more questions.
Are there motion?
Second.
All in favor? 4, discussion possible action regarding service agreement with Vicinity. If you have questions, we'll do no action. 5, discussion possible action regarding an update on capital projects specific to the TIF 2.
No changes.
Questions for Stacy?
Mm.
Okay, no action there. 6, discussion possible action on the TIF 2 and TIF 2A budgets.
No changes there. I have mentioned this before. TIF 8 is basically closed out, except for the mechanical contract, which we have 3 floors done and 3 floors to go, but it's fully funded. So you've got about $900,000 in TIF 8, which was basically the original amount that we seeded that with. I'd recommend we move that seed money over to TIF 2A at some point. I'll bring an agenda item for that, unless you tell me otherwise. I'll talk to you individually about it.
Questions of Stace? Motion to receive.
Do you think it would be discussion possible action? Do you think we could just make that recommendation?
I believe we could, because it would impact the TIF 2 budget.
Yep, I would make the motion that we move that $900,000.
Miles, let me
seed
withdraw
money.
I made a motion
Yeah,
to
you-
receive. So, okay. I've withdrawn that. Go ahead, Miles.
Make the motion that we transfer the $900,000 to the TIF 2A budget. And will you work with probably Cody to get all the right numbers and everything, account numbers, so on and so forth?
Yes.
So that's my motion.
I'll
And that-
second it. Sorry.
That'll have no bearing on the remainder of the mechanical, correct?
No, there's
In terms
a
of our
little bit,
accounting or
there's a little
anything?
bit over 900. We'll keep a little bit over to support that HVAC because
And
Chris's
the balance.
crews
Okay.
do the
right.
asbestos
sure.
in front of it.
Okay, all right. All right, we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, is there a motion to receive as update? I'll make that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 7, discuss possible action on the Triple X project.
And we finalized the roadway project last week. There was a few punch items, but they're mostly slab sod and drainage off to the side. So we're in a position where we can open that road whenever the commissioner's ready. And then we just have the mitigation project left to go, and it's underway.
Is there a 3-way stop at, what would that be, 36th and Triple X?
No, there never has been, and I wouldn't recommend a 3-way stop there. That's not a good situation to put a 3-way stop. The speed limit on Triple X will be lowered. That was part of the design plan. And we probably need to cut some trees back for better sight down towards 36th.
The
But T
homeowner there on the southwest corner
he's complained. That's
is
true.
complaining, yes.
So lowering the speed limit, cutting the trees back is going to be what we'd start with. stop sign at 36, of course, but then triple X is a through road.
And then there's also, there was, and I know we've had a lot of water, but some erosion issues there at that southwest corner of
Yeah, the
36th.
erosion is on the punch list.
Originally, Joe, that was a one-way stop, correct? There was one stop sign. Is there still gonna be one stop sign?
On 36.
On 36.
Okay.
Right, we were,
But not back.
Not a north-south where you'd have 3 stop signs, no.
the homeowner there, Miles, you remember that home that's right on the southwest corner? That guy was out. We happened to be driving Wilshire Bridge and then went down and just were looking at how
How cool that project is.
the deal turned out. And the homeowner caught us and was pretty adamant that we look at installing a three-way stop because he's afraid he's going to get run over coming out of his driveway. So, okay, all right. Anything else? Motion to receive.
So
Second.
moved, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
8, discuss possible action on our capital improvements list.
No changes.
Questions? Okay, no action. 9, discuss possible action regarding transfer, maintenance, and repair of the infrastructure equipment in and around the courthouse, the annex, and hi, Chantel.
At the last infrastructure meeting, the sheriff's office, IT facilities, we had all gotten together and had discussions about how the RFI went to review those proposals. We put together just a summary of everything that was identified, the equipment, possible solutions to address those, and everything that was discussed is on that piece of paper that is before you now. Gives a little bit of a history of how we came to issue the RFI, summary of what was received, and just at the very bottom it shows that there's some costs that are being analyzed. And Keith gave an update at the last meeting that he was working with the ARPA consultants on what may be applicable. I just wanted to make sure you guys had our summary of that meeting. And that was it.
Thank you. Is there a motion to receive this document?
So moved.
Chantel, sorry guys.
Good. Go ahead.
On the back here, we got yellow and we got blue. What's the color coding?
The yellow are smaller packages, if you will. A being security contract that could be performed by one vendor. It's just a could be, but it'd have to take more research to know these things. And then as you get down to the yellow, you're looking at large infrastructure improvements to the overall security. So E is a mail and package screening facility.
Okay.
F, closure of Robert S. Kerr. So these are things, they talked about security as a whole in this meeting, not just the proposals of the RFI, but the whole picture. And that's what the colors differentiate. What is related to the RFI and what was a little more than that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we had a motion and a second to receive this document. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And motion and a second needed to receive her update.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, citizens' participation, board comments. Charles,
None.
Miles.
I'm happy to see that you went out and saw that really cool project out there at Triple X 36. The stream bank
I saw lots of things.
stabilization project.
Steam bank. Yep. That's what I said when I got out there too. I said, "This is a cool steam bank."
No, you're not.
Yes, Cody. All right. Is there new business? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll switch over.
Yeah, I get it. He sees a shot. He's taking it. You know what the worst part about it is that it'd be more dangerous for him on infrastructure. There we go. Now we're on PBA.
Motion to approve. Second.
Aye. Oh, thank you.
None.